Good morning, students. In part 2 of this chapter, you learnt about the course of the non-cooperation movement. This movement was started by Mahatma Gandhi in September 1920. Later, Khilafat movement also joined to it, and this came to be known as non-cooperation Khilafat movement. But this movement came to an end in Feb 1922 because of violent incident which took place in Chori Chora in the district of Gorakhpur in United Province. A large group of protesters who participated in non-cooperation movement clashed with police who opened fire. In retaliation, the demonstrators attacked and set fire to a police station in which about 24 policemen were burnt alive. By looking at this violent incident, Gandhiji felt that there was a need to train satyagrahis properly before they would be ready for mass struggle. Within the same time, many leaders in Congress were fed up by the long struggle, and they decided to participate in the elections to the provincial councils that had been set up by the Government of India Act of 1919. For that purpose, on 9 Jan 1923, one party was formed and it was Swaraj Party. This party was founded by C.R. Das, Chittaranjan Das and Motilal Nehru. But younger leaders like Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Chandra Bose pressed for more radical mass agitation and for full independence. Yes. Calling of the non-cooperation movement in Feb 1922 due to Chori Chora incident. Then on 9 Jan 1923, Swaraj Party was formed. The purpose of party was to participate in the council election so that they could get some seats and could raise their voice in the council. In 1922, after calling of the non-cooperation movement, the Indian leaders formed Swaraj Party and started to participate in the council elections. But some Indian leaders were not satisfied with it, and it was the time when there was economic crisis in the country. The farmers were not able to pay tax, they were unable to sell their products. Within this time, in 1930, a nationwide movement, civil disobedience movement, was started. So which were the reasons for civil disobedience movement? First was failure of the Simon Commission. Simon Commission. The Tory government in Britain constituted a statutory commission under Sir John Simon. Set up in response to the nationalist movement, the commission was to look into the functioning of the constitutional system in India and suggest changes. In 1927, Simon Commission was set up under the guidance of Sir John Simon. There were total 6 members, but in that commission there was no any Indian member. The main purpose of the commission was to look into the functioning of the constitutional system in India and suggest changes. Because there was no any Indian member, so when this commission arrived in India in 1928, the Indians showed black flags and said, "Simon, go back." All the parties, including the Congress and Muslim League, participated in the demonstration. It was during that demonstration that Lala Lajpat Rai was attacked by British police and died. When Lord Irwin found that it was difficult to control over the situation, so in October 1929, he provided a vague offer of dominion status for India in an unspecified future. Means vague mean unclear, dominion free. In October 1929, Lord Viceroy Irwin provided unclear offer to set India free in future time and a round table conference to discuss a future constitution, but this didn't satisfy the Congress leaders. In December 1929, under the presidency of Jawaharlal Nehru, the Lahore Congress formalized the demand of Puran Swaraj. Second was demand of Puran Swaraj. Demand of Pur Swaraj. The Congress leaders were not happy with the offer of Viceroy Irwin. So, in Lahore session, under the leadership of Jawaharlal Nehru, it was decided that 26 Jan 1930 would be celebrated as the Independence Day. Demand of Puran Swaraj was made in December 1929 and decided that 26 Jan 1930 would be celebrated as full independence, when people were to take a pledge to struggle for complete independence. But this celebration attracted very little attention. So Mahatma Gandhi decided to find a way to relate the abstract idea of freedom to more concrete issue of everyday life. When Mahatma Gandhi found that the demand of Puran Swaraj was failed and the 26th Jan 1930 could not be celebrated as the Independence Day, then he decided to start any movement by including it by relating it with such an issue which could affect to all people. Then Gandhiji decided to write 11 demands to Viceroy Irwin, but even those 11 demands of Gandhiji were rejected. Rejection of Gandhiji's 11 demands. After the failure of Puran Swaraj, Gandhiji wrote a letter to Viceroy Irwin. In that letter, he wrote 11 demands. Some demands were of general interest and some were of specific group. He wrote that letter on 31st Jan 1930. Out of them, one was very important demand, and it was the abolition of salt tax. Mahatma Gandhi's letter was in a way an ultimatum. If the demands were not fulfilled by 11th March, the letter stated the Congress would launch a civil disobedience movement. But Irwin didn't respond positively. He ignored the demands of Gandhiji. So finally, Gandhiji started civil disobedience movement. He started his journey on April 12 with 78 of his trusted volunteers. They covered a distance of 240 miles within 24 days and finally reached on the Dandi coast, Dandi, a coastal village in Gujarat, on 6th April. There he picked up a handful of salt and in this way started Salt Law, which is also known as a civil disobedience movement. Salt law, not salt movement or civil disobedience movement. Economic causes. It was a time when there was economic depression in whole world. Indians were also affected due to it. The Great Depression of 1929 had deep impact on the Indian economy. The prices of agricultural products began to fall and collapse in 1930. As the demand for agricultural goods fell and export declined, peasants found it difficult to sell their harvest and to pay their revenue. The government refused to lower the taxes, so by 1930 the farmers were in poor condition, and when this movement was started, they participated at a large scale. And the fifth one is sport from business class. Sport from business class. The business class was keen on expanding their business. When the First World War was started from 1914 to 1918, at that time, import of British goods in India was reduced. Indian industrialists got a chance to make goods and expand their industries. At that time, some relaxation was given to the Indian industries by British government because there was no import of British goods in India. But after the end of war, the British government didn't do something to promote the interest of Indian businessmen. Rather than it, the British government in India made such policies which restricted business activities. So, when the civil disobedience movement was started, they provided financial support to it. So, all these reasons were responsible for the civil disobedience movement. Simon Commission, set up in 1927. Its head was Sir John Simon, who came to India with his committee. There were total 6 members, but out of them there was no one Indian. Actually, this commission was set up to look into the functioning of the constitutional system. But when this commission arrived in India in 1928, Indians showed black flags and said, "Simon, go back." How could they give correct report about the constitutional system in India? After the failure of Simon Commission, the Congress party demanded Puran Swaraj. In December 1929, in Lahore session, Jawaharlal Nehru demanded Puran Swaraj, means complete independence, and decided that 26 Jan 1930 would be celebrated as the Independence Day. But this celebration attracted little attention. When Gandhiji found that the demand of Puran Swaraj was failed, then he decided to launch a nationwide movement. He wrote a letter to Viceroy Irwin. In that letter, he stated 11 demands. Some demands were for specific groups like the traders, businessmen, and some were for general interest like removal of the salt tax. Gandhiji wrote in that letter if his demands would not be accepted, up to 12th of March he would start civil disobedience movement. Irwin didn't respond positively, so Mahatma Gandhi started his journey on 12th March 1930. After covering a distance of 240 miles, he reached to Dandi coast. Dandi, a coastal village in Gujarat. He started his journey with his 78 most trustworthy volunteers. But in the way he was joined by many more, it was for the first time that women participated at a large scale. Mahatma Gandhi reached to Dandi on 6th April 1930. He picked up a handful of salt and in this way broke salt law. This was the starting of the civil disobedience movement, to whom we can also say salt movement. Civil disobedience movement gained wide popularity because there was economic crisis. The farmers and business class supported to it. The farmers were not able to pay tax because of the failure of crops and the economic depression, and business class wanted to get some relaxation in their business activities which were not granted to them by the British government. Due to these reasons, civil disobedience movement started. Thousands in different parts of the country broke the salt law, manufactured salt, and demonstrated in front of the government salt factories. As the movement spread, foreign clothes was boycotted and liquor shops were picketed. Peasants refused to pay revenue and chowkidari taxes. Village officials resigned, and in many places, forest people violated forest law, going into reserved forest to collect wood and graze cattle. By looking at all these activities, the British government was worried and began arresting the Congress leaders one by one. When Abdul Ghaffar Khan, a devout disciple of Mahatma Gandhi, was arrested in April 1930, angry crowds demonstrated in the streets of Peshawar facing armored cars. Means when people started to protest in the streets of Peshawar, they were attacked by armored cars and police firing. Many were killed. After 1 month, Mahatma Gandhi arrested himself. Industrial workers in Sholapur attacked police posts, municipal buildings, law courts, and railway stations. Means all those structures which were the symbol of British rule. A frightened government responded with policy of brutal repression. Satyagrahis were attacked, women and children were beaten, and about 1 lakh people were arrested. Because of all these activities, Mahatma Gandhi decided to call off the civil disobedience movement.